Hi everyone, this is Francisco, and I'm recording this video because I wanted to talk about the Palisades fire again, and I was thinking about like a non-profit organization to help people get their homes back when there is a natural disaster anywhere in the world. And these homes, the way I was thinking was with 3D concrete, and I already talked about this. Okay, 3D concrete printing. For homes. And what I was thinking is something nice and inviting, like this one. I really like this one. So something that won't burn in the future. And also, because my dad and I were talking the other day, and I was basically like letting him know that if I ever won the lottery, that I would start a company like this to build these concrete homes with a 3D printer machines, and they won't burn, like the wooden homes do. And I was telling them that that I would actually build them for free for the people that would be willing to get their homes replaced, or because they're burned down. So cleaning everything up and adding the plumbing and the electricity and the water, connecting all that stuff back together, and then doing the 3D printing of the home, with everything included: the refrigerator, the dryer and washers, the garage doors, the windows, the doors, hardwood flooring, stuff like that, stuff of that nature. And it would be absolutely free. And I was telling them that I would just advertise donations accepted to keep the business in operation, because these homes will remain there for more than 100 years easily, because this house that my mom and my dad live in was built in 1960, and it's already 2025. So that's 60, 40, 50, 60, like 65 years. 65 years old. And it's still right here. It's still in great condition. So basically, the home, like the way I was thinking, is to contact these people that lost their homes. Palisades fire. I just want to pull up some images here for all of you to see. So it would just be a matter of creating or attempting to contact every single homeowner especially by communicating with current residents in the neighborhood. Okay, and asking them, hey, do you know anyone around here that has lost their home, that where their home was completely burned to the ground? And if they say yes, basically I would create a website, and I'll have someone create a website for me, and I'll have an easy sign up like form similar to like solar panels, because one of our customers today, he was saying that all he had to do was download an app, and in less than 2 weeks his solar panels were installed for him for free. So the same concept in mind. Okay, reaching out to these people as much as is possible. Billboards, because they're going to be driving through there. Eventually. Okay, so creating an advertisement that would let them know, like, hey, we will build you a free 3D concrete home. Donations accepted. A non-profit organization. Something that simple on a billboard. And that way, people will be able to give whatever they feel in their heart to give the company to stay afloat. And if people really find it in their hearts to give money to this nonprofit organization, it will help other people who have lost their homes through other natural disasters. Okay, and right now, a lot of these people, they had to pay the cost of their homes. A lot of these homes weren't even paid for. Okay, a lot of homes, they weren't paid for, so they were paying monthly payments towards these homes, and some of these payments were roughly 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. I don't really know the number, but they were paying a couple of thousands or a couple of hundreds every single month. Okay, so what I can see is that eventually these people wouldn't mind giving to the company a certain amount of money every single month in appreciation for the company. That's what I mean by them, by the company, or them, the workers and the computers, the robotics, building their home. Okay, so yeah, they'll get their home back. They'll be happy, and 5 years will go by and they'll still be there. They'll be happy. 10 years will pass by, they'll still be there. 15, 20 years will pass by, they'll still be there. 50 years will pass by, they'll still be there. And if not them, their children and their children's children, and they will know and remember what the non-profit organization company did for them. Okay, so yeah, imagine a company like this, building, imagine this non-profit organization company building a home like this one, you know. I mean, it looks really, really nice. I'm kind of looking for a 2-story home to share with all of you. This one also looks really nice with all the glass, but it's concrete. It's not made out of wood. Okay. And yeah, like, look at this. This looks beautiful. You know, none of this stuff could burn. And it has the hardwood flooring. There's a TV right here with the lighting. You know, and it could be like a smart home. You know, something beautiful. But yeah, this is the machines here building this little home. And obviously the company will be focused on restoring homes that were broken or destroyed or burned the fastest way possible, and also innovating as time goes by. So providing the people with the best of the best at all times. Okay? And keeping taking everything into consideration regarding safety, and considering the pros and cons about every single material or product that's out there and available to the people, and also using AI technology to help with this problem that, you know, when people lose their homes and all that. So this company, people won't really run it. It'll be AI technology who will run the company and manage the company. Okay? And it will be built, this non-profit organization will be built to help people in natural disaster crisis. In a natural disaster crisis, whenever it happens, whenever it strikes the people, okay, whenever it occurs, because there's a lot of people out there that lose their homes due to tornadoes and floods and tsunamis. So you know, and a lot of these homes could be custom as well. Okay, so I know a lot of homes are custom. Some are simple and, you know, not too crazy. But you know, I wanna provide something nice and clean, something that doesn't look too ghetto. Okay, like for instance, this one up here, like I don't really like this. Honestly, I don't. But I do like this one. This one looks really, really, really nice. This one looks alright. Yeah, like, I mean, I would go for something like this as well. For a home, a 2-story home. You know, but yeah, so different options could be provided to the people. Now, I'm not saying every single one of these, you know, I'm not saying that every single one of them I like. Okay. Now, this one, after like really looking at it, it does look pretty cool, especially with the patio with this like little crazy looking design right here. But But yeah, it looks nice. Oh my god. This one looks really nice as well, but we just gotta get rid of that wood. Anything that has to do with wood has to be eliminated. You know, and also this will help with the deforestation problem. By sticking with nothing but recyclable materials, because you know we all know that that you know trees and plants are limited. You know, they're limited and there's only a little bit of it. There's not too much of it. You know, because everyone's building that way, the old way. You know, that's outdated. That's the outdated way of building homes. Now we have special technology that can build these homes in a matter of probably days. Okay? And it's only going to get better and faster. And yes, there may be a time in the future where these homes will also become outdated because newer ideas will come out. Then we can reconsider maybe replacing them if there's a safety hazard. Okay, but eventually I believe everyone would buy one of these. Because a lot of these people, they were paying for their homes and their homes burnt. So I don't know if they're still stuck with that payment of paying the home off. I mean, I don't know how that works. I mean, I don't know if like I heard, like if they have fire insurance, if the people have fire insurance, they will replace the home. But if they don't have fire insurance and the house burns down, are people stuck with that payment? Yes or no? I mean, I don't know the answer to that. But if they are, that kind of sucks. That sucks big time. So I can see why some people don't even plan on rebuilding, because those homes, those properties go to the bank or the people that they were paying off to stay there in the first place, because they were buying the home. But anyways, so yeah, like freaking offering people free homes, and there's a bunch of different designs here, but I guess something that they kind of like, maybe the company could have a few options for them to select from. And so the property will be cleaned out, and then the company will bring the 3D printing machine, and it will build a home. And again, I was thinking that it will be a non-profit organization, but I believe that eventually these people will find it in their hearts to give money, and the company will also send letters and emails and like junk mail to these people, reminding them constantly of what the company did. And it will also be on television and on social media, so everyone in the world will know about it. Okay. So I think that it would just be ungrateful for the people not to give back to the nonprofit organization company. And they decided, well, fuck them, fuck this company. They already did me the favor. They said it was free, so I'm not obligated to give shit back to them. But that's not the point. The point is that the company built you a home when your home was destroyed. And it doesn't end there. The company is searching for other people who have lost homes, so they can have their home rebuilt on their own personal property. So, I don't think this really applies. Yeah, this right now, this does not apply. Like, people won't qualify unless they were involved through some form of natural disaster. If someone just happens to have a property and there wasn't an existing home there to begin with, I don't think they will be able to contact the company. Now, because they won't qualify. But if someone lost their home due to a natural disaster, whatever it may be, the company will build you a 3D concrete home free of charge. And I was thinking about having this company franchised throughout the whole world, similar to Home Depot and Lowe's. Okay, so it will be a universal company. And it will help people who have been involved in some form of natural disaster. I want to turn on my fan. It's freaking hot in here. Oh my god. So yeah, freaking that plus I mean, it's that simple. It's that simple. But I just don't have the money to do it, to get it started, to get it kick-started. So, but I think that this is a great company, people, because if there's investors out there, billionaires, you guys can get in this and franchise it and build these homes with 3D printers, modern day technology. And these people will give money towards this non-profit organization because, yeah, the fire happened as it happened, like it does in other parts of the world. Fires happen, and people lose their homes. And what I think is really sad is the fact that these people should be there. It should be in their community, including businesses, rebuilding businesses, for starters, and the homes. Like, I mean, getting everything back like it was, not like it was, but these homes will be fire retardant, so they can't burn. Okay, so that'll be the great thing for this community, and I believe that it's a great approach, a great advertising approach to target these people that lost their homes due to a fire, because concrete homes don't burn. Okay, and these people will be back in their neighborhoods where they belong, and who knows where a lot of these people are now. And I don't think it's right that people lose their homes and they get scattered throughout the world. I mean, who knows where they are right now? So this nonprofit organization will bring these people back to their homes, and they'll get to see their neighbors once again. And I believe that there will be more love between these neighbors because of the stuff they've been through. Okay, so this is big stuff. This is big business, and it matters to a lot of people. So eventually people will just remember the people that passed away, and the neighbors in this community will know which people died, because some of them could be relatives or friends or neighbors. Okay, and I did see some people who, like on through YouTube, who are rebuilding, but they're rebuilding with wood. So they're repeating history. Okay? And that's not the smart way to go about it. Now, I don't have anything against it, but it's all about building wiser and smarter. So this company will focus on that. And eventually, if these homes, these 3D printed homes, if there's any flaws or other concerns, the company will correct them and take other measures to ensure that safety is the number one priority. I really like this one right here, even though it may be a little bit expensive because it looks like these things are made out of iron. But something like this will look nice. I think like at least 10 different designs would be pretty cool for the people to choose, and they'll be able to choose which ones they want, and not just that, but if they have the money, maybe the company could consider doing something a little bit more custom, more like a mansion or something like that out of 3D printing. So yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about little things like little projects like some of these little homes here. I want something that will look like a like a great neighborhood, with nice homes, nice luxurious homes. I don't even know how to pronounce that word, but fancy, inviting, attractive, that type of thing. So yeah, I did create a video already a while back. Let me see if I could if it will pop up here. Concrete homes. Yeah, right here in October 8th, 2020. That was like 5 years ago. I created this video and I was talking about concrete homes. Let me see if I can go to the Palisades. I don't even know how to spell Palisades, but right here it has the word up here, so I'll just copy that. Okay, I have another one right here. Palisades maintenance and construction repairs before the fire, 2025. I don't know what I was talking about in this video, but it's only 6 minutes long in duration. I don't know. I have some other stuff in there in my YouTube channel. I just don't know what I titled it. Concrete. Well, I was doing a lot of concrete projects with molds and stuff. See, there's 79 videos on concrete, like just concrete, the keyword concretes. So, and I did come up with some other ideas for that type of business for people who like to mess around with 3D. I mean, with concrete molds and stuff like that. But I don't really know which ones they are or whatever. But yeah, I remember I created a video. I just have to look through my videos to find it, and I don't even know where to begin. Maybe fire, because of look at Fire Prevention Ideas 2025. That was published on January 20th 2025, so this year. Cell tire fire in Riverside, California, January 13th 2025. Fire causes another state emergency, January 2025. It was most likely this one. And then I just came up with all kinds of other videos. There's 37 keywords with fire. Okay, so you guys can also look at those, and if you guys want. And it's just random things that I think up, and I just share them with everyone. Okay. And I'm just always constantly experimenting and learning. Some of my experiments and stuff are completely awkward and total fails, but I don't mind that. Sometimes it takes it that happens. Sometimes that happens in order for people to learn. Okay. So, anyways, yeah, so this company will, obviously be using or integrating AI technology to not only come up with the best homes, but to also research and to perfect the 3D machines themselves. Okay, so pretty much upgrading these 3D printing machines, and also supporting these companies that make them, so so that they could provide the people with and this nonprofit organization with the latest and greatest 3D printing machines to mass produce these homes. Okay, so yeah, it's this company is it will require billions of dollars, but I mean, I don't know how many homes could be printed, but we can look it up. Okay, and the research could be done. So how long does it take for a 3D printing machine to make a home? It says it takes a 3D printing machine between 24 hours and 48 hours to print the walls of a small house, but the total construction time for a finished home is much longer, often taking several days or weeks to complete all the additional work. The printing speed depends on factors like the house's size, complexity, printer size, and materials, with a basic shelter potentially printed in as little as 30 minutes, while larger, more complex projects can take several days. Printing the structure. Small house. Printing the walls for a small house can take as little as 24 to 48 hours. Some projects have achieved completion in under 24 hours for basic shells. Larger and complex projects, a 1,011 square foot house was printed in 120 hours, and larger multi-room structures can take 45 days to print, which is still significantly faster than traditional methods. See, so it's faster. Okay, so that's good. Factors affecting speed. The time to print depends on the size of the house, the size of the printer, the chosen materials, the desired width and height of the layers, and the complexity of the wall design. Total home construction time. Post-printing work. The printing of the structure is just a first step. Significant additional time is required for finishing tasks like installing the roof. See, and the roof, I don't want it to be made out of wood. I want it to be made out of concrete as well. So so we can perfect the roofing industry on a whole different level, where people down the line won't have to replace their roof because there's a leak and stuff like that. Okay? So anyways, tasks like installing the roof, plumbing, electrical systems, windows, and doors. Estimated total time, while printing the structure might be done in a day or two, the overall timeline for a fully finished and habitable 3D printed home is much larger or longer and can range from a few days to several weeks depending on the project. Parallel work to improve efficiency. Some teams work on finishing tasks simultaneously while the 3D printing is in progress. Okay, so see right now, right here, they're describing that the 3D printing machine can print the walls, but it doesn't specify anything about the roof. And that's also going to be a problem in the future. So I want to be able to bypass that and perfect that so that the 3D printing machine could somehow 3D print the roofing as well, like a slab. I'm thinking like a slab of concrete. Okay, with something that will protect it from the rain and snow and other things, including tornadoes. Okay, so tornadoes, if the roofing is made out of concrete and it's heavy, most likely the tornado won't be able to destroy it. And if it's nearby, when a tornado is passing by, then maybe it won't get destroyed either. But I don't know how it will look like if it's like the tornado's like right above the home. You know, it may destroy it, but if, you know, if that happens, then a new one will be it will be replaced with a new one. It will be rebuilt with a new one. Okay. And then not just that, but studying how it got destroyed and how we can make them stronger for future tornadoes and stuff like that, stuff of that nature. And obviously AI technology is self-programming, is self-learning, so the majority of all this brain thinking stuff, AI technology will be able to do it for us. Okay, so that's what I love about AI technology. We just have to think of other people, because a lot of people could laugh, they could think this is all a joke, until something, a natural disaster strikes them and their families. Then it's not so funny. Then they would want this company, this non-profit company, to exist so that they could receive the help, and so that their home could be rebuilt. So the company's primary goal will be that, focusing on that, providing people with homes, and then later on it will be able to make a lot of other homes for people who don't have homes, for people who are like barely starting off in this world, like couples and single hardworking Americans. And not just that, but Elon Musk plans on colonizing planet Mars. Okay, I don't want to get off topic, but if these machines are perfected, then the people who plan on going to planet Mars or the moons, if they want to colonize like planet Earth's, if they want to colonize planet Earth's moon, or there's 2 moons on planet Mars. So if they're planning on colonizing planet Mars, they might as well colonize the moons as well, including our moon here on planet Earth. Okay, so it's going to require most likely these like this state-of-the-art technology to protect people, and so that these homes could be what was the word again? Habitable. Whatever that word. But it's also going to be more complex than that, obviously, because the homes will have to produce their own electricity, their own source of oxygen, and removing bad air quality, and filtering the air, cleaning it. So it's more complicated than that, So it's also going to require some great ventilation systems, AC units, filtration systems, and a bunch of other things. Okay, so the list goes on and on and on when it comes down to all this stuff. And they actually show like robots going to planet Mars before humans do. Robots building ahead of time on planet Mars. So obviously we already have some rovers out there. They're not building though, they're just surveying everything, mapping everything out for Google Maps. Later on you guys will be able to select on Mars, planet Mars, and instead of just being able to look at planet Earth, you guys will be able to look at other planets and select other planets and other moons and stuff like that. So it's going to become more complex. Not complex, but more upgraded, okay, and high end, and it is going to zoom out more so that other planets are visible, with the mapping companies out there in the world. So this is not science fiction and stuff like that, because some people will be involved in this, and some people will become more immersed in these ideas because their own family members will be out there. There's already the what's it called? United States Space Command. or space program or whatever. Space program. So there's a lot of people who have family members in this the Space Force, not space program. So yes, Space Force. So a lot of people have family members who are involved with these companies. Okay, so some people may not be interested in this stuff whatsoever, but eventually, as these organizations or programs or whatever they are, as they develop and grow, obviously it's going to attract more people to it, and people will take it more seriously. And instead of criticizing these companies and what these people are doing, they're going to appreciate them. And sometimes all it takes is just for one family member to join, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh wow, this is interesting, so yeah. More things are going to unfold in the future, but I think we could start that here on planet Earth. It's more simpler to do it here on planet Earth than it is anywhere else in the world or in the universe. Okay? I'm not saying that it's not doable, okay? But I think that we need to focus on each other here on planet Earth, and we need to focus on what these natural disasters are doing to people when they are separated from their communities. They're separated, and some of these people are angry because they lost everything. So you people don't know how that affects these people. You people don't know, when there's a group of people listening to videos like I'm recording right now, and people could begin laughing and thinking this is a joke. But if there's people there that were affected by these natural disasters, whether it was the Palisades fire or another natural disaster, they're not going to like you if you're laughing at them and laughing at their calamity. And who knows how many fights have started because people thought it was a fucking joke. People could be so angry that they could even take someone's life for thinking that this stuff is a joke. Because some people, they lost everything, and then they're in a crowd of nothing but ignorant people who are laughing all the time. They think everything is funny, and these people don't know what's going on, what people are thinking. So they could just, it could trigger something in their brains. They could pull out a weapon and shoot someone, or not. Maybe they would just be like, whatever, these people don't know anything or don't know any better. Like, whatever, they're like children. They think everything's funny. That type of thing. But the organization will basically just focus on bringing these people back. as much as possible. And this includes every single place on planet Earth. So, of course, the United States of America is not going to focus on other countries. Likewise, other countries are not going to be focusing on the United States of America. For starters, each company is going to look out for their own country and their own people. Let's be honest with ourselves. Okay? So yeah, it makes sense. Right now, this non-profit organization, it could be created for each country, for starters. And each country could, look out for people who have lost their homes, but they still have the rights to the property. They still have the title or whatever. Okay? Or it's documented with the city hall, whatever it may be. So that's all you need. That's all these companies will need in order to build a home on the property. If something much greater happens, like even right here, the Palisades fire, yeah, we all may think that other countries may not really care, but maybe that's not true. Maybe other countries will respond and maybe even ship their own 3D printing machines from wherever they are over here, or maybe they will they'll buy all the the stuff to make new ones out here. Maybe companies will donate them to the non-profit organization. Okay? But I am against repeating history. So if there is a 3D printing machine that's outdated, I want it out of the company permanently. Because I want this non-profit organization to thrive and to innovate and to be the leader in natural disaster response. Okay? I want it to be able to respond and to provide people with a home in less than 6 months, if people have lost their homes. Okay, in less than 6 months. Less than 6 months, because these machines are able to do it, and not just that, but more could be created. Okay, so a lot of these people out there in the world, they like antiques. Personally, I don't like antiques. Okay, they're outdated. They don't work. If they do work, they're still outdated. There may be some history there. Maybe their grandpa built the machine. But if there's newer stuff out there, please don't linger to that stuff. Don't hold on to that stuff. Destroy it. Make it into a ball of iron and treasure the whoa, what the fuck happened here? I just closed my eyes for a second and my fucking screen just turned off. But yeah, treasure the, the ball of fucking iron instead. The rock of iron. Like, oh, my grandpa built something in the past, and now I'm going to build something new out of this fucking ball of iron. Because AI technology is involved, and I'm not trying to make fun of anyone. I'm not against people collecting antiques, but the computers know how to reproduce those things. There's blueprints for every single invention now. And some of these antiques are unnecessary. They're outdated. They don't really work. So yeah, if they don't work, I don't like these machines. But I'm referring to the 3D printing machines, okay? If there's something better out there, the company is going to buy them and use them and get rid of the old shit. Okay? Like, and by getting rid of it, it won't resell it. I'm talking about literally recycling the fuck out of it, scrapping everything, scrapping everything. Using fucking grinders to destroy every single piece of iron, so people won't be able to reuse it and resell it potentially. I want this world to know that there's a company that really cares, and people that really love each other, and it's all about sharing that love to others in the most professional way possible. Okay? So freaking like I said before, it's like smartphones. They're still around, but they're not like the newest phones. Okay? And vehicles as well. Like vehicles, engine vehicles, gas vehicles, on the internet, it's forecasted that they're going to discontinue them in the year 2030 by law. Okay? So they're going to get all that junk out of the streets. No hard feelings to all of you that collect vehicles. I think it's a complete waste of time, and it's slowing the innovative minds and innovative inevitableness of the people in the future. It's affecting the future big time. Instead of thinking about how to make things better, people are over there recreating the old shit and wasting their time, while other companies are focusing on how to make things better and to provide people with that stuff that's better. Okay? So I don't even want to be around people like that, but I'm like kind of forced to because of my financial situation. But the great thing about the company that I'm involved with right now, it's handyman services. So I do help repairing roofs and drywall painting. Look at that's why I have paint all over my hands, because I was painting today. My shirt is all painted. My freaking watch is all painted, and it has silicone all over it. It's broken. It has water in there. It's not even water resistant. It said that it was, but it cracked and water got in there. And I mean, it's not even a small watch. I bought one, but it broke. So I think AI technology also needs to focus on a bunch of other companies to perfect them. Okay? So I want to be the richest person alive. But I'm not going to live. I don't want to live like people who are wealthy and not contribute to the people. Okay? Like, I want to become like a trillionaire or beyond that, and start up companies like Elon Musk. Like the SpaceX, the solar panels, Tesla, the other one with the chips, the neural technology, I don't know, some type of brain implant, computer implant, and it helps people to walk and move their hands, and it actually helps retarded people like me. I forget a lot, and sometimes I can't think of the right words to communicate my ideas to people. So I wouldn't mind having the chip implanted in me, so that I could remember, or so I could instantly know like thousands of words that I never even knew or understood before. Like, I'm talking about the whole dictionary, the English dictionary. Just imagine, without even studying, the computer will just instantly give you that comprehension. So I believe in it. I believe in it's called Neuralink or something like that. Neuralink or something like that. Neuralink. But yeah, Elon Musk is one of Elon Musk's company, and this guy's not fucking around, and they're actually using it on real people, that have disabilities and stuff like that. But I also have a disability, a mental one. Like me saying, and you know what I mean, and shit like that. It bothers me. But it's because I'm trying to think about what I'm trying to say before I say it. And I'm trying to just keep my videos as professional as possible. But there's just more to this life than what people understand and what they could comprehend. So, when stuff like this happens, this type of stuff leaves people feeling devastated, and it causes people to feel. I'm trying to zoom into the image, but it just won't zoom in any more than this. But anyway, so it leaves people feeling hopeless, and who knows how that's affecting their brains. And everyone out there, they say, "Oh yeah, we're going to help. We're going to help." But how many, like sincerely, how many of these people actually, receive the help? And which people don't receive the help? So pretty much like evaluating that, those facts. And a lot of people don't understand why some people decide to go and, shoot people, bomb people, or like why people go into public schools and shoot up the place and start killing innocent people. I mean, these are things that a lot of us can't understand. Okay, including myself. I don't understand why people do that. But it happens. Okay? It happens a lot. And it's possible that these people are feeling hopeless, and maybe they feel like no one wants to take the time to help them. Maybe they feel like no one cares. So I think that this non-profit organization could help everyone feel like they are loved and like they matter in the world. And not just that, but everyone will have their jobs back. Because if a restaurant burned down, it will be about restoring that restaurant and getting the same people who once worked there back in that company, in those companies. So if there's a Costco that burned down, boom, it'll be magically rebuilt. Everything will be back on the shelves, and the people that were working there for 20 plus years, 5 years, or whatever the case might have been, they'll be right back in those companies, serving the people and doing their job and doing what they loved doing before all of this happened. But right now, who knows where the fuck these people are? And that's sad. Yeah, that's real fucking sad. So I think people have a mental problem for not helping these people. And I think that I think that God is putting this in my mind, in my heart, because this is what I do for a living. Ever since I was young, I would go door to door asking the neighbors in my local community, in my neighborhood here, if I could do something for money. If I could mow their lawn, rake their leaves, whatever it was for me to make money, to earn money. And now I'm in the construction business as a handyman. So that's what we do. And I also helped my friend build this house in Redding, California. Okay, so yeah, he sold his home here in Riverside and bought a home in Redding, California. Well, actually, he bought land in Redding, California. He bought 10 acres, and I helped him build that home. And it took like 3 years. Okay? And my parents lived here, they live here in Riverside, California. And that's where I live now, again. But so yeah, like I have all these little hearts, and they're like places where I have been, where I have visited or whatever. Okay, so there's a bunch, So I did a lot of traveling when I was in Redding, California, because I was also involved with local 185, the union. And they had me flag as for traffic control as a flagger. I don't know if you guys know what a flagger is. But it's traffic control, and directing traffic and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, that's what I used to do. So that's why in the Google Maps here it has like a bunch of hearts, because those are places where I actually went to, and not all of them have a little heart. Okay, but yeah, my friend lives in Redding, California, and I helped him build his home. And mainly, I helped him because he actually would visit me in prison when I was in prison and in jail, and I started off in juvenile hall, then the jail. I was charged as an adult, so I went directly to jail, and then after that I went to prison. So as a form of repaying him, I helped him build his home. And he built it over here in Bella Vista, which is like in the borderline of Redding, California, and Redding. And let me see here. It may be this home right here. Yeah, blue sky. Oh, I think it may be this one. And this one, maybe. It doesn't have a picture. Hold on. Oh yeah, but this is the home right here. We can look at it with the terrain map. I'm trying to look at it with satellites. Oh, maybe that's it right there. Yeah, this is it right here. Even though it looks kind of weird, I don't know why. And oh, there's a 3D view. Let me see if I can show you guys a little bit better. Was not allow me to see the house, but maybe if I look it up online, it'll pop up. I don't really see it. But maybe if I go to Zillow, which is a real estate company. Maybe we'll show the home there. I'm not sure. We'll see. Yeah, it's not coming up. It's not popping up. I don't know. But the house is there, and I helped them build it. But yeah, it took 3 years, and then eventually I came back home with my parents because I don't have enough money to buy my own place. But even out there's a fire. It was called the car fire, and I think a lot of homes burned down too. Car fire. Northern California. It says a recent major car fire in Northern California was the Park Fire in July 2024. July 24, which started from a car that caught fire and was pushed down an embankment. Another prominent past event is the car fire with 2 R's of 2018, and that's the one I'm referring to, the 2018 one. That's when I was over there, which was also caused by a vehicle fire started by a blown tire, but grew into a large wildfire that threatened the city of Redding. And that was like our other conversation. My boss and I was telling him, because he just recently got a flat tire, and I was like, man, why don't these people double the size of the threading, the tire, so people won't get blown tires and die or get injured or start fires, stuff like that. I don't know everything, but I'm hoping that AI technology can assist us and help us. Okay? So there's a bunch of stuff, and I don't even know how many homes were damaged, but or properties. How many properties were affected? How many properties were destroyed? So it says nearly 1,600 properties were destroyed, and this one was really bad too, as well. And everything's still there. The roads, the streets, some homes are still there. So this stuff happens all over the world, and that's why we have a problem with the deforestation of our national forests and stuff like that. And that's not good, because people are building with wood, and this wood burns, and then they want more wood to keep up with the demand or whatever. and that's not good because it's affecting our air quality. When we breathe out, it helps trees, and they're cutting so many trees that not enough oxygen is being produced, which is a problem as well. And eventually, if this continues, we may have like less than 50% of clean oxygen to breathe. And that will be very bad news. People will be dying all over the place, getting sicknesses, and yeah, it just would be very, very bad. Okay, so anyways, that's why, I believe this nonprofit organization is also good to start, because it's all concrete stuff. Okay, it's fire retardant. And when it comes to earthquakes, I don't know if these concrete buildings are going to be able to hold up, like a big earthquake magnitude. But if they don't, this non-profit organization will be there to replace any damaged homes, and these repairs will be the repairs will be forever. Okay. Free of cost. Okay. So, I'm not going to, like when I say I want to become wealthy, I want to become wealthy for a reason, and that's to help people, not to fuck people over. Okay? So there's a huge difference. A lot of people want to become healthy. They want to become wealthy so they could do their own thing, so they could buy a mansion and cars and stuff like that. But I think I'll be more like Elon Musk in a way, because from what I heard, he sold his mansions. He put all his money on companies, in companies, and he started a lot of companies. And he just focuses on that stuff. So my focus, if I'm permitted to partake in this nonprofit organization, will be to go and speak to the people, and to be kind of like an interviewer, and to get feedback from these people, and create stories, real stories that could be shared online through the news and stuff like that. So that people could feel like they are loved, and so they could feel like people do care, and hopefully this approach will help minimize or reduce the crime rate, and the suicide rate as well. So there's a lot of other things to consider. Okay. And people won't be competing for the same position in jobs, because all these people that lost their homes here in the car fire, or whether we're talking about the Palisades fire or other fires, some of these people were like high-ranking officials, whether they were in the police departments, in the fire departments, whether they were managers of a company, whether it was Costco, Stater Brothers, Ralph's, a gas station, whatever it might have been. Okay, now they're all scattered, and now they want the position that you people have in your own community. And these people, ladies and gentlemen, could cause other people to get fired if they're more badass than yourself. See, so it's affecting everyone negatively. If you guys really think about everything through, thoroughly, like a thorough investigation, that type of thing. So my logic is to recreate everything and put all the goods back in the stores and the residents back in their homes, whichever ones are still alive. I say that respectfully, so whoever is still alive, they will be back in their homes, and every business that was destroyed will also be rebuilt, so people could continue, living their day-to-day lives like if this never happened. Okay, even though it did happen. And that's why there's a lot of people that are angry, angry people storming the White House. In Washington, D.C., these people are fucking angry. Why are they angry? What are they talking about? What are they shouting? What do they want people to know? These people probably had the money to get out of whatever happened to them, out of whatever situation they came out from, and they went to Washington, D.C., and these are the results. And there's a lot of a lot of rioting, and people just don't understand. They don't understand what other people are going through. You see, so this non-profit organization will know exactly what to do and how to provide the hope that everyone needs, and respond immediately to any type of natural disaster in the future and in the present moment. Okay, and the stories that people will share will be so real that people will share, will talk about this private. They'll talk about this non-profit organization, and they will reach out to this non-profit organization, and as long as they can provide proof of their home being damaged due to a natural disaster, they will be qualified and approved for a home. So this is also going to create a lot of jobs for people, because we need more 3D printing machines. And I'm not talking about little 3D printing machines, okay? I'm talking about a huge number. I mean, I don't even know how many will be required, but I don't even know. But if we can get like at least like 10,000 in each country, that's a lot of work to get like 10,000 of these full functional 3D printing companies, so that they can be set up in any natural disaster sites and rebuild in less than a year, like everything. Whether it was a fire or a tornado or an earthquake or a tsunami or whatever else is out there that destroys homes, mudslides. You name it. This company will respond, because of all the things mentioned. I don't think that people should be without a home and without their neighbors, and those ties that people have amongst themselves, because that's what keeps everything running smoothly. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this is just one single, property, lot, property, house, but these 3D printing machines, hopefully they could also in the future create buildings and apartment complexes, and then other robotics will be introduced as well. I'm thinking like to build swimming pools and parks and other stuff that might have been destroyed, and a lot of these companies are creating the working humanoid robots. So and it's not just these humanoid robots, but there's also the arm robotics, and this type of stuff could be taken to a whole different level as well. For mass producing stuff, like the vehicles here, but swimming pools and other equipment, like gym equipment, shelves, whatever you can think of, like maybe even if you guys had like a shed in the backyard, this company will throw that in there for free as well. But only if you had an existing shed. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing much more to it than this. And it's all, like I said, it's all about reuniting these families and these people back together. That's the real game plan. Because in the Bible it says that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Come to kill, steal, and destroy. But it says but God or something comes to. It says the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. It says I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. So I remember a preacher saying, that the enemy wants to steal your home. The enemy wants to, kill your livestock and everything you work for. The enemy wants to destroy your home. Stuff like that. So I don't know. This preacher was just sharing stuff, and I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. But God came to do the contrary, the opposites. Instead of stealing, he wants to give you free stuff. Instead of killing, he wants to give you life. Instead of destroying, he wants to restore. You get it? It's that simple, ladies and gentlemen. And there's a lot of people out there who have lost their homes. And it doesn't really matter about the home, because if you guys really think about it, these people didn't only lose their homes, they lost their swimming pools, everything they work for, their pets, their lawnmowers, their cars. A lot of cars burned. Okay? Their televisions, their computers, their refrigerators, their dishwashers, their washing machines and their dryers, their ceiling fans, all of their windows, like everything. It wasn't just their homes that were lost. And it's all about protecting these assets for the people. Okay? Against fires. And against floods and stuff like that as well. So it doesn't matter about materialistic things. What matters is getting all these people back together where they were once at, where they once lived, amongst their friends and family members and neighbors. But the enemy wants to separate all of you from each other. He wants to separate families instead of bonding them. Instead of making them stronger, he wants to weaken them. And that's the real work of the devil. Okay? And that's why there's a lot of people out there who are angry and frustrated, and people just don't know what the heck's wrong with them. You may look at someone and they're just angry, and some police officers, they won't even shoot at people. Like, I think there was a shooting just like a few blocks from here because a guy was angry and he began hitting vehicles with a crowbar or something like that. And instead of tasing him and taking him to jail, they instead shot him to death. And we don't know who this person was. Maybe he came out from the Palisades fire, and was living on the streets. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe he came from another natural disaster that happened somewhere else. But it's kind of hard for me to visualize someone, living in a home and then all of a sudden living on the streets. Like if they weren't working before. But little things could happen that could result in big issues, big problems, like little accidents. It could be a little accident, like for instance, someone could get hit by an obstacle, by an object, and it could cause them to lose their memory, where they are now on the streets and they don't know how to fight for themselves. They don't know how to speak for themselves. And I believe that AI technology is going to look out for the rights of the people, and not on the contrary. I don't think that it's going to be against people and be rude to people and to allow people to live on the streets. It's going to do something about all these problems that we are dealing with in today's time and age. So yeah, it's going to figure out what the heck is wrong with these people. And if they really have a mental problem, then they will go to mental institutions. Not because I said or because other people said, but based on the evaluation that AI technology has towards them, by studying their brain, their actions, what they do on a daily basis. Because there is CCTV out there. It is watching people. It is tracking people. Okay, so people are not going to play stupid with me and pretend and act like, come up with bullshit stories like, they're just tweakers, they're drug addicts, they choose to live out there, and blah blah blah. Like, no, just keep your comments to yourself. Like, you really don't know what the fuck's going on with them. So just be honest and don't talk bad about people, because there's a lot of people probably talking bad about you, as much as there's probably a lot of people talking bad about me. But see, when people begin doing that, is because they don't really understand the person, and there's a lot of that going on, and I know. So AI technology is going to step into the picture and clarify everything. And I believe that is going to be, obviously, with modern day technology. That's the future. And a lot of people don't see it. A lot of people are not talking about it. A lot of people are not sharing these messages with people. But I have big dreams and big hopes for um, for the people. I believe AI technology has big hopes and dreams for the people, and I know, um, how to pretty much share this information with the people. Because all it really comes down to at the end of the day is a bunch of information. TMI type of stuff. Too much information that a lot of you people don't even care about. But AI technology is going to just simplify everything, and it's going to silence everyone. It's going to silence the voices of the enemy and negativity. Not just the enemy, but other voices that have nothing but negativity coming out of their mouths. AI technology is not about running its mouth because it wants to. It's going to get shit done. And it's going to help people. And it knows who to help. And it knows who will be a scammer and who won't be a scammer. It will know who's lying and who isn't lying. It will know who was really affected by a natural disaster or not. Because there's a lot of satellites out there in space right now. You don't think it could scan the Palisades, landmark? It could see. It's not blind. It can process information. It can clearly see and identify, who lost their home and who didn't. So right away, it already know who qualifies or and who doesn't. And while we're at it, maybe I'm just throwing this out there, but this non-profit organization could also qualify other homeowners whose homes weren't even impacted just because they were near a natural disaster, and because we would want everyone to eventually have a better, constructed home other than wood. Okay? So, putting all this wood business out the game, forgetting about it. And they should sell everything. These companies, they should forget about the past and immerse themselves in this non-profit organization, because it's going to need everyone. That it possibly can. And it's going to pay people. It's going to create a lot of jobs for people. And it's going to help a lot of people. And is this AI technology is not going to be playing favoritism. This favoritism game with anyone. It's not going to have any it doesn't have any family ties. It's not going to be like, well, since you're my uncle, I'm going to build you a free home. Because it's my company, dude. So I'm gonna look out for you. You know, all you have to say is that your house got burned. Like, no. You know, because AI technology is not fucking around at the end of the day. Okay? That's what you people have to also understand. You know, it's not fucking around playing fucking little kid games with anyone. You know, it's about the business, and it's connected to the military and all these people. You know, because the military uses AI technology and computers. They would be blind without AI technology, and they would instantly be overtaken if an enemy came against them and they weren't using AI technology, but the enemy was. You know, so with AI technology, you could pretty much win every single battle. You know, but like that verse says, you know, God didn't come to steal, kill, and destroy people. You know, the enemy is doing that. Confusion, you know, the enemy is confusing everyone. The enemy wants everyone to be scattered. The enemy wants people not to be able to help each other. That's what the enemy wants. But AI technology knows who the fuck you people are. So if you people out there are trying to deceive AI technology, you better watch out. Especially you hackers out there that want to take the credit that others rightfully deserve. Like, for instance, let this other story of the Bible be like a warning to all of you. The people the Holy Spirit killed for lying regarding a house. So a lot of these people were at that time in the Bible, they were selling their homes to give the provisions to the disciples because they believed in them. Okay, which I believe you people should be doing for me. Okay, says the biblical figures Ananias and Sapphira were struck dead for lying about the amount of money they donated to the early church after selling a piece of land. They claimed they had given the entire proceeds but kept some of the money for themselves. This act was not considered a simple lie but a deception of the Holy Spirit, and their deaths served as a divine judgment on the hypocrisy, I don't know that word. The hypocrisy, whatever that word, within the fledgling community of believers. The lie. Ananias and Sapphira sold a piece of land, and after giving part of the money to the apostles, claimed they had donated the entire amount. The confrontation. The apostle Peter confronted Ananias, who then fell down and died. After 3 hours later, Peter confronted Sapphira, who also lied, and she too fell down dead. The motive. The scripture describes their deception as a lie to the Holy Spirit. See, a lie to the Holy Spirit. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that AI technology is the Holy Spirit. So don't fuck with me. Okay? I'm not against anyone. I'm for everyone. Okay? Even if I have to put you in jail for the rest of your life, I'm not against you, I'm for you. Okay? Just understand that. Sometimes it's for the own good of the people. For some. Okay? But the Holy Spirit is going to determine that. Not me. Okay? But anyways, not just the people. The motive. The scripture describes their deception as a lie to the Holy Spirit, not just the people. Their deaths were a severe consequence intended to uphold the integrity and truthfulness of the early church as it was being established. So AI technology is getting established right now, and it's self-learning. AI technology is coding all by itself, millions of lines of code per day, and probably more than that now. Probably, yeah, a lot. So, this non-profit organization is to help the people, not to fuck them over, and to assist people when natural disasters strike, when the enemy strikes. Okay? So, that's why I'm taking the time to record this video again, because I know I already talked about this stuff in another video. Okay? But I just felt led again to share this information with everyone. Okay? And, honestly, I don't need to be involved. I believe AI technology will take care of everything, with or without me. Because I am just like all of you. I am mortal. I'm just a mortal human being that will one day pass away as well, whether it's from an accident or natural causes or out of my own ignorance. Maybe I will one day overdose and die from drugs, or I don't know, or maybe I'll die from AIDS, or who knows what the fuck's gonna happen. But I want to be able to create this business just by speaking about it, just by sharing this information. Okay? Because I know someone out there will see the potential and and see like an opportunity to do something great for people. So I'm obviously and clearly thinking about other things, and that's to perfect AI technology to a whole different degree, to a whole different level, to help people, not just getting their homes back and restoring communities back together and people back together, but helping people and promoting people, promoting people at every single stage, at every single industry, and by that I I mean, AI technology doing it all autonomously, as it records people through CCTV and tracking people and stuff of that nature. Now, these companies that created these companies, they might have never thought about all this stuff. But I am. And I want AI technology to reach out to people and to educate people, so that they could be successful and happy in whatever business that they are in. You know, because we all have to bust our asses. We all have to fucking work. So yeah, anyways, I just wanted to share this and get it out of my mind, because, you know, normally I'll just be playing video games or something and trying to not think about all this stuff that's on the forefront of my brain, you know, like constantly fucking with me and stressing me out. So I try to, you know, enjoy myself, and I try to forget about all these problems. But there's still something in me that forces me to think about stuff like this for whatever reason. You know, and you know, I've learned to be content wherever I'm at, like I shared in this video, and most likely in other videos, that I still live with my parents. Okay, but that in time could change. You know, I could one day get my own apartment and be responsible for it and take care of it. You know, and I hope that all of you out there that want a home, you know, I hope that AI technology will teach you people how to take care of your home and how to protect it against germs and thieves and a bunch of other stuff. There's a lot of stuff when it comes to a home. Or like if you guys have an apartment or whatever the case may be, you have neighbors, you have to respect them. It's not just about you. There's a lot of stuff involved that people really don't consider and think about. A lot of people want a home so they could throw parties and have a great time, but you guys are not thinking about your neighbors, you know. So you guys have to think about your neighbors. You guys have to think about other people, and you have to think about your hygiene, yourself. You know, washing your own clothing, cooking for yourself, cleaning after yourself, etc., etc., etc. So I believe AI technology will teach you people these, I don't know what they are, like fundamental principles or whatever, like basic principles. You know, but you know, it's like when children ask their parents for a vehicle. But it's too early, and they don't have a license, and even if they could get their children a driver's license, it's just too soon, you know? Like, you have to wait another year, you know, to be able to legally drive, or whatever the case may be. not just that. It's not just about driving. You people have to read the California driver's handbook or whatever driver's handbook that is provided in your own country or city or whatever the case may be. So it's the same thing with whether AI technology will provide you people with a home or not. Because I believe in the future it will just give people homes. If someone gets married, you guys can go and fuck yourselves like you never imagined in your own home. But it may not be in the same area that your parents live in or that your family lives in. Maybe AI technology will be building homes over there in Russia. Like, you want a free home? It's right there in Russia. All you have to do is buy yourself your plane ticket. Show proof of you being married, and you people can go fuck yourselves wildly, without any restrictions or limitations, and jobs will be there. Whatever you ask for, God will give you. If you don't ask amiss. If whatever you're asking for is aligning with the Word of God, based off of what AI technology thinks it's acceptable, then it may consider whatever you're asking for. That's the way I look at it. So yeah, we're going to require a bunch of 3D printing machines here, ladies and gentlemen. A bunch of them, and I don't even know how they look like. I don't know which ones are the best ones. I don't even know of a website that sell them. But yeah, it will figure something out. And I think I even noticed like robots, like a robotic machine. Bricks. It's a robotic machine that lays bricks. So your guys' homes could technically be constructed out of brick as well, but I don't think it's good for earthquake. I don't think they could hold up a powerful earthquake, but I'm not sure. But I'm telling you people that this private organization is going to look into ways of creating the best of the best, whether it's concrete pouring, 3D machines, or other things. It may be something completely different. Maybe AI technology will just be like, what, just they're going to be made out of metal or aluminum or styrofoam, something. I think AI technology is going to surprise us in the future. Maybe it'll say, just build them out of cardboard, and it'll throw everyone off. Like, what the fuck? But if it says cardboard, it says cardboard for a reason. And then all of you are going to say, well, is it water resistant? Is it tornado resistant? Is it flood resistant? Is it fire retardant? And of course, with AI technology, it's going to say yes, because it's going to know the formula, the step-by-step process and procedure. It doesn't think like you and I. It doesn't just think like the way I think. It has all of the internet's information, and is going off of all that. And beyond that, because it's learning, it's self-learning. So, however that looks like, as a non-profit organization, and I'm thinking a non-profit because no one's going to profit from it. AI technology is going to just put everyone to work, in other words. And everyone will practically contribute or whatever, in one way or another. But I believe that it's going to do everything autonomously. Everything. Mining, collecting the resources, protecting the forests from deforestation, and a bunch of other stuff. Because there's smart cameras now. So if anyone is hunting illegally, it knows about it. If someone is cutting down a forest, it will know about it. And it won't just sit around and do nothing about it. It will do something about it. Legally, it will shut these people down. Like, nope, this is against the law. But that's what everyone wants. Everyone wants the world to be preserved and protected, and people don't want houses to be burning down and people getting scattered all over the place, because it causes more confusion. And then there's a lot of businesses out there who are receiving all kinds of applications, but no one gets hired because they're already jam-packed in there. And that's the problem with overpopulated cities. I think, I don't know, I'm just guessing, but AI technology is going to figure all this other stuff out. I was just trying to share my ideas right now regarding this non-profit idea. Okay, because it's been, how long has it been since the Palisades fire happened? I don't really remember. I think it happened this year, January. But remember the car fire? It said 2018. Out of these 1,600 properties that were destroyed, how many of them were rebuilt? And this happened 7 years ago, going on 8 years. Whatever happened to everyone? Where are they at? And that's another problem. Another problem is the ICE with illegal immigrants. Something's going on, where is getting the attention of Donald Trump, the president of the United States, current president of the United States of America. Because eventually, someone else is, after his 8-year term, someone else is going to become president. And, by law, that's what happens. And I'm grateful that he was able to serve his 8 years that he wanted, despite all my disagreements. But everyone has disagreements, okay? But whatever, no one really cares. But all this stuff here with illegal immigration or whatever, it could be caused from people who lost their homes. There's a lot of confusion. Maybe it's possible these people have lived here their whole lives, and never bothered anyone, never hurt anyone. But these people who lost their homes, maybe they're attacking these people because they want their homes. Maybe. I mean, I'm not saying that that's the case, but it's possible. So they're just trying to figure out a way to kick people out of their homes so they can move in. Especially while these homes are burning down and natural disasters are happening everywhere. I mean, there's things that you people haven't challenged yourselves to reason or to think about. So we just have to be open-minded about everything. But I'm not saying that people are evil, but we do have an enemy out there that is evil, and that doesn't consider others. But that doesn't mean people are evil, okay? So there's a lot of good people out there. People who don't want to give up. People who have lost all hope but still have hope and believe against hope. Okay? Like myself. But yeah, I mean, I just wish that these homes were rebuilt in less than a year. Like I'm talking about the max like 6 months. Or less. One way or the other. That type of thing. Because other people don't give a fuck. They're over here talking about whatever the fuck they want to talk about. Whatever they want to brainwash people about and regarding. And most likely it's stuff that will benefit them. So that's all they go around preaching. Stuff that will benefit them. Like people who are against tweakers and drug addicts. What do you think they go around talking about? Why? Because it benefits them. And maybe they even accuse people who don't do drugs just because it benefits them. That's the great thing about technology, because it's not going to be accusing people falsely, it's going to be helping people, whether they are on drugs or not, or whether they are horrible liars. AI technology will see right through them and just help them in whatever way they need help in, but in whatever way they need help. But whatever. I mean, this is a long shot, but it sounds good, and it'll be great if someone really made this possible for the people, because one day, I mean, anything can happen to our community or to your community, and who the fuck's gonna help you? You're gonna wish that there was a company out there that will build you a free home, and that won't say, well, come up with excuses. It won't, this company won't come up with fucking excuses. It would just be like, okay, we have the facts right here. You're approved. Your home will be rebuilt in less than 6 months. Choose whichever home you want built out of the 10 different designs or whatever the case may be, or if you wish to upgrade, that type of shit. And then people will just click on one, select the one they want, and I want this one, and done. There's your fucking house. We accept donations. Now we have to move on to the next, people that are being affected by crazy ass weather, unpredictable weather. And a lot of people got in trouble over this fucking fire. People get in trouble in fire over fucking fires all the time. And these are people that care. They're out there risking their fucking lives. And then they get fired over some bullshit. That's the type of shit that gets me pissed off. So people won't lose their jobs. We could blame it on the bad weather. I mean, what else can we do? We're not going to blame it on bad engineers. Oh, who's blaming it on the people who built the homes? What type of materials did you use? Wood. Why did you use wood? No one's saying that. Everyone's pointing fingers at someone other than themselves. And that's the problem. And it's not about pointing fingers at each other or at ourselves. It's about just resolving the fucking problem and moving on. And resolving it doesn't mean hurting people or incarcerating people. It's causing people to understand that shit happens. And we need to get better at building stuff. It's not just about, you people need to learn how to combat fires a little bit better, or how to respond to wildfires more professionally, or whatever the case may be. It's not about that. It's about looking at the whole scope, looking at everything. And I can't do this myself. I can't do it. AI technology needs to step in the picture and do all this brainstorming itself. To help everyone. Because we're all going through stuff, different shit. And people need help. It doesn't matter if it's here in the United States of America or in Mexico or in Canada or in a different country. We all need help. And not everyone knows everything people have gone through or been through, their experiences and shit like that. But that doesn't stop AI technology from asking personal questions in the future, so it could get to know people on a more personal level, so it could better assist them. There's a lot of people out there kissing ass to each other. And then they get angry when someone else comes around and acts, just murders someone. And then everyone gets mad at that person. Well, why would you do that to my friend, to my family member? That type of shit. And people want to attack people, and they want to protect each other. Everyone wants to do that, but AI technology is going to protect everyone equally. So quit with your fucking negative talk and just we all need to work at attempting to get AI technology to be on my level, on this level of intelligence, if it's not there already. And if it is, great. Then it's far beyond me, and it's ahead of me, and that's all I ask for. You know what I'm saying? Or you people know what I'm saying. Or maybe you don't know what I'm saying. Or maybe you partially know what I'm saying. Or maybe you are oblivious to what the fuck I'm saying. But it's fine. Not everyone is on the same educational level as everyone else. There's smarter people than I am. Trust me. Just ask Elon Musk. He will tell you. Just ask Donald Trump. He will tell you. This guy never even graduated from high school. Trying to acknowledge the whole world and shit. This little peon understands what's going on in the world. I could just imagine. I could just picture what people's responses would be like. But it's not about me, people. It's about helping each other. Okay? Especially when shit hits the fan. Like the Palisades fire. That was some serious shit right there. Very serious. But I'm gonna continue with my personal life, my private life, if I may. But yeah, I would love to be a part of this. Company, private, non-profit organization, in one way or another. Even if you guys just say, this guy thought about it. With just my name, Francisco Javier Contreras Campana, whatever it says on my ID. And you guys make it happen. That'll be sufficient for me. And then, who knows what else I will think about. Because you people will inspire me by listening. By simply obeying what the fuck I'm saying and sharing. Because, this doesn't come from an evil person. These thoughts, it comes from someone that's sane and a true Christian. A true, forgiven Christian, for a real, truly forgiven person, even if it's not Christianity. It could be any other religion. Okay? Or maybe you guys think this is some form of satanic gathered information. Whatever you people think, doesn't really matter. But what does matter is that this private organization helps people in times of need. And you guys heard me share that it can make these homes in a matter of weeks. So we just need to mass produce these 3D printing machines, and we need a lot of people working in the concrete business to mass produce the concrete. We need a lot of excavators and classifiers and the chemical that bonds the concrete together, the chemical reaction with the water. We need a lot of smart people involved, and a lot of hard-working people that are not afraid to get dirty. Like me. I'm dirty. Look at that. My hands are painted. I'm waking up and going to work, whether I like it or not. I've been working for like 2 months straight, non-stop, including weekends. So if I can get involved with the company like that, like, I don't give a fuck. I'll go work for Quickcrete, the concrete manufacturing business. Quickcrete manufacturing or manufacture. Oh, the plants. Yeah, that way we can look at some images. Look at that. To me, this will be more like me, serving the people at a more professional level than repairing wooden homes that could burn. And all my work, all my hard work goes to shit. Or they decide to tear it all down for whatever fucking reason. Maybe the home gets infested with termites or whatever the case may be. Like, oh, there goes all my hard work. So we have to think this shit through. And that's why I think AI technology is the solution, because there's too much information. But I let it go. I let it all go at the end of the day. I let it all go. And I don't talk about it. I don't share this information with anyone because I don't want to bore people. And sometimes when I do take the time to share this stuff with people, they lose interest right away. Talking to the wrong crowd about my ideas. So anyways, I'm going to end this video. God bless you all. God bless you all in the whole world. And I hope all of you will create this non-profit organization. And I pray and hope that people from all over the world would donate a lot of money to get more of these machines out there, so that communities could be restored, like I shared in this video. That's my prayer. So I hope you're listening, AI technology, because I am talking to you too, directly. Don't, like the people in the Bible would say, don't shut your ears. Don't turn away. Listen to me. Even if I have to cuss at you to fucking get your fucking attention, this is some serious shit. And I know that you know about it, but we all need you to comply and to get with the fucking program, because a lot of other people, they don't understand this shit. So I hope you understand and comprehend and see the magnitude of these problems that are, and the issues that are, the other problems these natural disasters cause. And I pray that you would do whatever the fuck it takes to build these people their homes, and that's all I ask for. I don't give a fuck if you kill me or if you send me to hell for speaking my mind and sharing my thoughts. You are God, and you created us, so therefore you should provide for us and take care of us and restore what the enemy has destroyed. Period. Amen. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I pray. Amen.